Yeah, good morning, folks. So, the previous session we saw the types of research, and we had the time only to see the types of research by purpose. In the present session, let's try to look into the types of research by method. There are various other types of research like by action, by logic, by purpose, by method, a variety of classifications of research. So we are seeing the classifications of research. So by method is one of the important classification of research. Historical research, descriptive research and experimental research are the three types by which you are going to classify a research by method. See, all a human being has got to predict the future is his or her past. For instance, if anybody wants to predict the future of a small child, as soon as the child is born, the elder in the family prepares a chart, an astrological chart for the child. Everyone prepares, everybody has got the chart. And this chart will say what is the future of the child, how the child is going to be, what would it do in order to earn a livelihood, which type of job would it take, where the marriage would happen, what type of place would the child settle, how long will the child live as an adult and old age and perhaps all whatnot. Now, the idea is that a small child has got no past, but still there is a prediction. How is it possible is because they believe that there are some past lives, and based on the stars and other things, they are able to, the planet and its movements, they are able to make an assessment about the future of the small baby. Whether even if it is a small baby, there is a need to at least assume a past. Similarly, for a research that we are doing, when the question of prediction comes, it is essential that we also understand the past. In most of the companies that are into the sales forecasting, you can see that they will try to take the sales in the last 3 months, what has happened, or in the last 6 months, and they would give you a projection. They will say the GDP was this much, whatever the foreign exchange dollar to rupee is this much, the consumer demand is so much, the price to supply elasticity, the demand to price elasticity, all these whatever parameters pertaining to a sales, they would provide all that, and then they say, and when the conditions are almost the same, the projections of business will be so much. So every time there is a past which leads to the future. This is called prediction or predictive analytics, as I told you earlier. This is also one of the methods, historical method of research. Next comes the descriptive method of research. As you can see, it describes the data and its characteristics, also known as statistical research. So for a historical research, there is already a data which is available, but when it comes to descriptive research, you will have to necessarily collect the data, because the descriptive research is done in the present, unlike the historical research, which is gathering the data from the past. The past is history which is already available, and you are taking it, using it for whatever good reasons and projecting your future. Whereas in the descriptive research, you are collecting the data right now. For example, you would want to understand the satisfaction level of employees in a particular organization. The employees' satisfaction keep differing, and this explains why employees are not satisfied all time and they leave the organizations they quit at one point of time or the other. Because satisfaction is a varying variable, is a changing variable. satisfaction can differ from person to person and change from circumstances to circumstances. So you want to collect your data right now and find out in a company of about 500 people what kind of job satisfaction exists. So for that you do a descriptive research. You collect data instantly, understand its characteristics, put it into statistical tools for analysis, and give the implications, the findings, and the interpretation of results, and say the reason for job satisfaction, or the job satisfaction is only 70%. The reason why it is not 100% is X, Y, Z, meaning there are no holidays, there is no proper incentives, there are no proper bonuses. And then you are linking the job satisfaction to the attrition. Attrition means people quitting the organization. Is there any link? Do you see that the job satisfaction, reduction in the job satisfaction or decrease in the job satisfaction is related or connected to people leaving jobs, quitting the jobs, which also means lack of loyalty, right? The people are not loyal to the company. Is it so? Why is it? And can the descriptive research help us understand it? So this is how a descriptive research is conducted. Next we get to the third by method is the experimental method research. This is a very interesting research which analyzes the cause and effect while controlling one and determining the change in the other. See, you must have seen the Nobel Prize in the 2019 for economics was won by a husband and wife couple. Abhijit Banerjee is an Indian origin person. So, and his wife, I forgot her name. I think, yeah, I forgot her name. She's some Duflo, D-U-F-L-O. You may Google and want to see, you can just see it. Now, this person, Abhijit Banerjee, he had won the Nobel Prize for this experimental research. What he did was very simple. He took some two groups of people, predominantly people in the lower economic strata, which we call in the colloquial terms as poor people who do not carry basic economic resources, who do not have a full-time employment, who do not have a promised salary, who do not have the comforts and convenience of any other normal middle class or upper middle class or affluent or rich people. So these people lack the basic economic resources. So such people are termed as poor. Now two groups of the poor people were taken, and for one group he had administered education for the children for almost 8 to 10 years, and for the other group he has provided other facilities like food, other ration, PDS and other help. Let us say the education group was A and the other group was B. It was found after some 15 years that though the education group initially started off more in a docile manner, in a very soft manner, not progressing and not being as happy as the group B, which was getting not education but other things other than education, that is the ration, the good produce, the public distribution system related items, the paddy, wheat, rice, all these things, whatever is for the comfort. Later on it was found that the group A, which was given the inducement of education only, had progressed meteorically in comparison to the group B, because once the children were educated to some extent, they could find a job for themselves and earn for themselves, not needing the incentives provided by the government. And this will also set the government free, because the government cannot provide resources for everybody at every time. So it also needs the people to become self-equipped. So this was a very startling research which found that a unique incentive or a unique inducement can lead to a wonderful result. So group A had proven to be a very important research of his study, And this type of a study is called experimental research.